Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, like the members for MacKillop and the members for Flinders, I'd like to acknowledge the contribution made by my local show, which is the second biggest show in South Australia, just behind Adelaide, Royal Adelaide Show. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to congratulate Isaiah Tesla, the President, and the members of the committee who put on a very wonderful event. It's a two-day show, and it tracks up to 30,000 people over the 2 days, subject to weather conditions. Mr. Speaker, it's also an important year, Mr. Acting Speaker. It's an important year for the Gawler Show Society because it celebrates its 170th birthday. And in the few minutes I have today, I'd just like to briefly travel through the show's history to provide a few key themes that emerge, some of the controversies that appear from time to time, and the show has reflected the highs and lows of the town itself, but also has been a source of innovation. The show itself did not start without controversy, Mr. Acting Speaker, with two community and volunteer committees vying to run the very first show. In 1851, a committee was chaired by Mr. Sparshot, which was formed to establish a society for produce farmers, but was not proceeded with. A second attempt was made on the 2nd of October 1854, which was successful, and that's why this year we celebrate the 170th birthday of the Gawler Show Society, when Dr. Otto Schomburg chaired a special public meeting convened at the Globe Hotel, which is now the Kingsford, where the Gawler Agricultural and Horticultural Society was formed. In October 1855, Dr. Schoenberg was re-elected President of the Show Society at its first AGM. James Martin was elected as a committee member, and the stage was set for the first Gawler Show. On the 19th of February 1856, the Show Society held its first show under the grand title of Gawler Agricultural and Horticultural Society First Annual Exhibition. The South Australian Register records the event as follows: considering the recent date of the Society's establishment and considering this was the first attempt at a produce show, we think the members have every reason to congratulate themselves upon its complete success. We never remember having seen such a large company, including so many ladies of respectability. And so, Mr. Acting Speaker, the Gawler Show was born. On 10th of February 1859, the show was held in James Martin's corn store in Murray Street. In the first major reform, on the 10th of July 1860, the new Show Society was formed to represent broader agricultural and horticultural interests, and on 27th of February 1861, a larger, more varied annual exhibition was held in the parklands in a large and tastefully decorated pavilion. But the show was not always well received, and the 1865 show was poorly attended. Rumours began to circulate that it might be the last show, but they were proven wrong, and the 1867 show was an outstanding success. Mr. Speaker, as other speakers indicated, the show has always relied on the support of volunteers. Without the volunteer, the show cannot go on. So it was in February 1869 that the Show Society faced an uncertain future as Gawler residents did not come forward to assist in the organisation of the show. The second major reform it was in January 1870, which saw the commencement of the tradition of holding the Gawler Show a week prior to the Adelaide Show. So it's been quite a while since we've actually had the show in August of each year. And in 1871, the show was held at the newly erected Martin & Co workshop on Carlton Road, where it was reported that the building was scarcely second to the exhibition building in Adelaide. At this particular show, fine cheeses and bacon were exhibited for the first time. It was also lamented that some rough youths brought down the tone of the day. Sounds familiar. In 1873, the show had a number of innovations. Soap was exhibited for the first time, and it was no coincidence that shortly thereafter it was reported that the emerging new soap industry was evident in the town. James Martin exhibited agricultural implements, and also in 1876 what's today called the eggplant was first exhibited in in Gawler at the Gawler Show. And all these years I was thinking the Italians introduced eggplants to Australia. In 1867 the show was a huge success with visitors pouring into the main street. During the 170 years, Mr Acting Speaker, the show has had highs and lows, its challenges, successes, but a few things have remained the same. The importance of volunteers, a driver for innovation, and the premier event in the town's calendar. Happy 170th birthday, the Gawler Show Society.